as well as a Smart State Fellow. So welcome, Marcus.
All right, this presentation is usually about an hour because I'm giving a snapshot of a whole range of projects that we are doing in our research group. So what you're getting now in about 8 minutes is really just the kind of teaser, the TV commercial version of this presentation. This image that is just flowing through, we commissioned this to kind of indicate, or I guess illustrate, or another word, visualize, as has already been used so often today, our research area. And that is a combination of the physical as well as the digital layers and the digital infrastructures of urban environments. So urban informatics, as we see it and embrace it, is a combination of people, place, and technology. So there's a lot of interest from computer science and IT and human-computer interaction. The second area is people, so it's a lot of humanities and sociology, urban sociology, and also a little bit of humanities and cultural studies sometimes. And the third area is urban studies, where we're looking at urban environments, planning issues, architecture, and design. What I want to do is give you a snapshot of 3 of the projects. This first one here is a ARC linkage grant that has been going for a year and a half now. Swarms in Urban Villages, New Media Design to Augment Social Networks of Residents in Inner City Developments. It's a cross-disciplinary team. We got a postdoc on there as well in the area of human-computer interaction. And we are working with Brisbane City Council, Optus, the Department of Housing, that is now the Department of Communities, and 4U TV, which is a company that operates the plasma screens on our CityCats and provides the content for those screens. That research is interested in identifying new ways, new novel methods and techniques to engage residents in local government, in participation and online deliberation when it comes to the decisions that a local government, a city council, has to do. So Brisbane City Council is really our main partner academically, conceptually, and they are providing a lot of input that tie with them is quite strong. One of the projects that we started off with is this little installation called Virtual Fish, or Fish Tracker. It uses Bluetooth to identify people that are in a certain area. So if we had this set up here, we would roam the area and see what Bluetooth devices are available, what are their names, and then a fish would appear for each of those devices and they swim around the place. So we did this already in a number of places, including at Kelvin Grove, and students, for instance, would then pick up on the idea and change their Bluetooth device name and be able to communicate via this screen installation with each other. So we're interested in how this can activate place and how we can, in a way, provide a way to allow people to interact without really revealing much about themselves personally, but still have place-based interaction. The second one that we are currently working on, and it's about to be rolled out in a couple of weeks, is Discussions in Space. It's a public community consultation or community engagement exercise. Brisbane City Council is rolling out a new River City Blueprint, which is pretty much the master plan for the inner city and adjacent areas. And this installation allows people to provide feedback, comments, little snippets that are usually not longer as an SMS text or a tweet, and they are put on a screen, either a data projector, a plasma screen. We were also talking about larger installations at King George Square. So there's a mobile phone number, there's usually also a Twitter channel available for people to join the discussion, and so we're interested in how the technology can actually be coming to the people rather than having blogs and forums and discussion boards online. We're actually taking this to the places and setting it up. In this case, this has been set up at the Royal Brisbane Hospital, at Brisbane Square, at the State Library, and also downstairs at level 4 of the foyer at some stage. What we're also doing with Brisbane City Council is we're developing an iPhone application for them that is at this stage quite simple. We are trying to allow residents to take a photo of something that is broken in the city, such as a park bench, that is then sent to council and they fix it Technically, that is not very challenging or innovative, but we see this as a way to get into everyone's pocket. So once QUT is the provider of this iPhone application to Brisbane City Council, we then can think of other features and functionality in version 2 that might be more interesting and that will then be informed by the other research that we are doing when we roll out future versions of this application. The second project quickly is also a linkage grant that runs in parallel. This one is called Remembering the Past, Imagining the Future, Embedding Narrative and New Media in Urban Planning. Here we are working with the Sunshine Coast Regional Council and a local school in Koroi near Noosa. The basic premise of this grant is that a lot of urban planning is based on quantitative data. It's based on a lot of floor plans, survey data, census data, tables, and the analysis that relates to this type of data. So in the grant, what we argue is that there's an opportunity to also embrace qualitative data, to also embrace poetry, storytelling, photography, and find ways for that information to be made available, to be analyzed, so that it can be fed into the urban planning decision-making and it can be made available to practitioners in that area. One kind of snippet of that larger project, this is really just one specific study that we've done under that umbrella, is in Koroi we were working with grade 8 students of the Noosa District State High School, and we ran a Second Life workshop where the students were actually immersed in a virtual environment, and they all had their own avatar. We brought our own computers that were on loan from the Apple University Consortium, and it's great that QUT is now a full member of the AUC. What you see there is a master plan of a new development. It involves an arts centre. It's kind of similar to the Brisbane Powerhouse. It's an old butter factory where performing arts occur. They're also building a new library, and there is an old timber mill that has been refurbished and its heritage listed, and they're looking at the ways for these three precincts to be combined. So this is an impression of the old timber mill. The purpose of the Second Life workshop was to engage the students in thinking around the issues of that particular development project and what kinds of ideas they would come up with. And so we first had an excursion to the site, and then we kind of went more and more abstract. We actually had the students first in Google Earth. We imported a SketchUp model into Google Earth so that they can navigate the space in a more realistic environment. And then we entered, these are all the bunch of students that we were working with. We entered Second Life and were able to run a couple of activities with them, where the students were divided into groups and were able to pretty much be in the urban planning seat and make decisions and do things on the fly in the virtual environment. As a result, it turned out that the committee that is looking after the master plan, they were then given the results, and they were also talking with the students. They said that in the last 4 years that they were talking about and deliberating about the options for this precinct, that the students actually came up with more ideas and greater ideas than this committee came up with in the last 3 years. So they were quite blown away. And there's kind of a snapshot of also the kind of cross-generational exchange that occurred. And the last project quickly is about environmental monitoring. We are working here with the Climate Smart Home Service Program. You might know that you can get an electrician into your house for $50. They install an energy monitor into your switchboard. What we're interested in is new ways to, this is actually not the energy monitor that they install, but this is a more futuristic version, new ways to convey the information, so it's not just numeric. Obviously, one option might be to use graphs, to use historic data, to use time-based data, but we are actually more interested in completely different visualizations, such as an animation of the Great Barrier Reef, where, for instance, if you do really well at home, then you get lots of fish, lots of turtle, you get a colorful reef simulation. If you're not doing so well, then you get coral bleaching and your reef dies. What we're also interested in is to use internet-enabled devices such as these. I won't actually explain what they all are, but just the bunny there, you might wonder what that is. The bunny is actually a connected device. It can glow, it can talk, it can move its ears, and it convey information because it's permanently connected to the internet. So if you are in the Synergy building, we're actually doing a case study there on the reduction of paper in that office or in those different levels. Then you might find a bunny in your lunchroom at some stage. We're ordering some. And just to close off, I was asked to also propose or kind of suggest what kind of support we might need in our team. And I think QUT is providing already a very supportive and a great environment. I actually love getting up at 6 o'clock every morning and coming to work. But still, there's 3 ideas that I just put on the screen while we take questions. One is for the IT support area. One is for the Blue Box and legal team, and one is for HR and finance. Thank you.
Now I'd like